Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way.
How's it going, guys? Public Safety Network here. It's been a while since I did a video, so I figured we would start off with another on the job. I've been gone for a while because I came down with a nasty case of the flu, and so now that I'm all back at 100%, I figured we'd start with one of these. We're going to go over hospital security today. Obviously, I don't need to define what hospital security is. It's in the name. You do security for hospitals, whether that's a small clinic all the way up to multi-billion-dollar hospital networks. So we're going to kind of go over 5 different areas today that when it comes to considering getting into hospital type security. That's going to be different types, which include contract, in-house, and fully sworn police departments, promotional opportunities, pay, duties, and shift work. We're kind of going to go over these individuals and break them down a little bit. As a lot of people know, follow me on things like Reddit. They do know that I did work in a hospital for roughly about 2.5 years, back in around 2013. So I do have some experience in this job. The first thing we're going to go over today is the different types, that being generally contract, in-house, and then fully sworn police departments. Obviously, contract, for those who have been in the business a while, know that contract just means that you work for a third-party company that provides security services to other companies. When I first got started in this job back in 2013, almost all the hospitals in the county had contract security companies. There was, I think, one hospital system that did have its own in-house security department, and also the county who ran their hospital as well had their own security teams. I worked there about 2.5 years, again, all contract the whole time, and about the time I was leaving, around late 2014, early 2015, they had slowly started transition to in-house security teams, all of them. And I think as of now, I think there's maybe some of the smaller hospitals that have contract. Most of them are in-house now. You're going to find contracts still quite common. A lot of smaller hospital networks and clinics use contract because for them, a lot of times it's more cost effective. So generally, if you're looking to go to an in-house security job, finding larger hospital networks is going to probably be your best bet because they're a lot of times going to need more personnel. In-house is obviously the opposite of contract. You're working for the organization that hires you. So if I work for ABC Hospital, and they employ me directly to work security for ABC Hospital. Again, a lot larger hospital chains tend to employ their own in-house security teams. Obviously, sometimes government-run hospitals also employ their own security teams, if not fully sworn police departments. So again, look into those guys. And then last but not least would be fully sworn police departments. These jobs are fairly uncommon. I've maybe seen 5 or 6 hospitals that I know of that do employ fully sworn police departments where the either the local sheriff's office does the security or the hospital is given permission to form a fully sworn police department where their officers do have to go through the academy. Obviously, the VA system in itself has its own uniform police division. That's fairly common in the federal government. If you look at past videos I did, such as security police, that's what the VA police tend to fall under. They're generally security that have police powers, but you will find that in the federal system. So that kind of gives you an overview of the different types of hospital security you're going to find when it comes to who employs them. The next we're going to talk about is pay. As mentioned every video previously that I've done, security is such a vast field with millions and millions of security firms, millions and millions of in-house jobs. The pay will widely vary based on obviously the size of your organization, skills to get into the job, the state you live in. These are all going to widely impact how much you get paid. I've seen hospital jobs that do pay minimum wage, all the way up to hospitals that will pay $30, $35 an hour. Again, depending on a variety of factors. So again, you got to kind of be on the lookout for those jobs. With contract work, it's going to be more whatever the company has negotiated with the client will be the wage versus in-house work or PD work in hospitals will most likely be set at a standard base salary with usually room for raises. that usually most in-house jobs at hospitals I've seen tend to have annual raises or merit raises. Contract work, it's obviously usually based on renegotiating of contract, whether that's every year, or whatever the length of the contract is. So kind of know that going in, that it's going to wildly vary. A lot of times even in the same area, it could be based on the hospital system you're looking at. If it's a wealthier hospital system or a private hospital, they tend to pay a little more than your nonprofit hospitals or even sometimes your religious hospitals. So keep that going in mind. What type of shift work are we talking about? Hospitals run 24/7, 365 days a year. They do not stop working on weekends, holidays. So be prepared that you will most likely work every shift at one point, depending on how long you're there, whether it's days, swings, or nights. You'll work holidays, you'll work weekends. It's like you said, round the clock. Hospitals need round the clock security, and so be prepared that if you need an 8 to 4 day shift type job, then first of all, security might not be for you in general, but hospital security is definitely not for you because again, you will work a ton of shift work. You will work holidays. There are occasionally you will get that one lucky security job that it's a clinic that's open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. That those jobs are out there, but again, they're extremely rare. And going back to pay, a lot of these jobs, those type jobs, tend to pay more, and so they tend to attract more qualified or seasoned personnel. And since we're in the middle of this, guys, don't forget, if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe the video for more content. I'm always happy to make more videos. Just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It only takes 2 seconds. So shift work, guys, just be prepared that you're going to work all shifts, holidays, pretty much at any point in the calendar year you might be asked to work. The next one we're going to talk about is actual job duties. Some are universal to hospital security in general. Some vary based on what hospital you work at. I can tell you for a fact that one of the main jobs of security is to deal with combative patients. Like I said, when people are at the hospital, they tend to already be in a not perfect emotional state, whether they are the patient or whether the family of the patient. And so a lot of times they tend to act irrationally, sometimes even violently. Now, it's never an excuse to assault hospital staff, but going into this job, you're going to have to show a lot of empathy towards people because a lot of times they are not in their best mind when they are at the hospital. But dealing with combative patients, even, restraining them to the bed, is a very common duty among hospital security. It's pretty much almost universal that you will get into some type of physical altercation when working in the hospital. It's inevitable if you are not okay with physically confronting people or possibly having to get into a physical confrontation, not only with someone who's possibly emotionally unstable, but also someone who may be high on drugs or other type of substances, then again, hospital security probably isn't going to work out for you because it is a fairly common occurrence, especially working in an inner city hospital like I did. Other job duties can including, signing in and out patients. I did that for a while in the ER, in the front lobby after hours. Some of it can be gopher work where you may be requested by hospital staff to do other duties. Obviously, if it's not kind of agreed upon already, check with your supervisor before doing any of this stuff. But it's fairly common that hospital staff, nurses, doctors, techs may ask you to do work that's maybe outside the realm of security. I think that's pretty common in a lot of security jobs. Jobs that I did at the hospital is my security was also in charge of signing in at the bodies out of the morgue, either to the funeral home or to the medical examiner's office. I've heard about that happening in other hospitals, but again, I don't think that tends to be a universal duty. Providing escorts to people, either to their vehicles, in some places, providing them mobile escorts to hotels in the area that I've seen that, or shuttle service. Some of these will vary based on the hospital you work at, but I can tell you for a fact, providing foot patrols, vehicle patrols, combative patients, psych patients, things like that are all fairly common in working in hospital security. So if you're looking to not have to do a lot of physical work or sitting at a fixed post, things like that, again, hospital security probably isn't the way to go. There are plenty of other jobs that will probably fit you better. And the last part we're going to talk about is promotional opportunities. Obviously, promotional opportunities vary widely from hospital to hospital. but in-house and PD ones tend to have a lot more in the range of promotions. You can obviously, I've seen a lot of things that have like lead officers, you can become supervisors. Most of the hospitals in our area do have canine units where you have either patrol or EOD dogs. Again, they're not very many positions and they're generally sought after. They generally go either, when they do hire externally, it's usually because candidates have previous canine experience, whether that's PD or military. But a lot of those jobs will also go to people who have worked at the hospital for quite some time and have proven their trustworthiness at the hospital. Dispatchers, even up to the management level. Like I said, there's a lot of promotional opportunities working in-house hospital security because hospitals are so vast. I've also known hospitals that tend to also have educational opportunities where they will reimburse you educational tuition if you are getting something hospital related. Obviously, if you work security, getting some type of security studies or even sometimes criminal justice degrees can fall under that purview. Or if you're interested in the medical side, they can pay for things like EMT school, paramedic school, nursing school, things like that. A lot of times will be covered under that. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Again, I've seen a really steady growth over the last few months. I'm excited that you guys are liking the content, and I'm definitely happy to put out more. As mentioned in the earlier video, don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. And I hope everyone out there stays safe and has a good shift.